the Treasurer General of the ANC, Dr. Ramaphosa. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Just looking at where we are right now in terms of the program and the support that has turned out for this celebration, how are you feeling? A lot of people will be remarking that the stadium is not filling up. Does that concern you at all?
I think I now believe when people say I look exactly like my sister, Dr. Ramaphosa. But this is Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, the Premier of Limpopo.
I truly apologize.
I know you're not the first one.
Got it completely wrong.
They keep on saying Dr. Gwen, even when I say, oh, this is Dr. Ramathuba.
It's all got to do with just the confusion that has been happening,
yes.
So much activity that has been happening.
Yes.
Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, the stadium filling up, and we don't want to engage in what one of your former spokespeople used to call stadiumology, right? We don't want to make too much out of it, but you are the ANC. You are a party that has been a mass-based movement, and you've always made sure that when you mark January 8, the stadium fills up. So before we get into any other issues, address that issue. The stadium is not filling up. Is it by design or is it by default?
I think if you will remember what the NEC said to us, that we are moving away from that concept of stadiumology.
Yes.
We are going back to the basics. You would see every time because I'm from a province level, when the NEC visit our provinces, they start by spending the whole week trying to monitor service delivery in terms of our project, how the ANC-led government is performing. So even here, what is quite important is that throughout the week, even from sister provinces like ours, we did join the NEC leadership so that we can be able to learn if there's anything good that we can, and also if there's where we can improve or where we can share with them. Northwest, it's equally a rural province like Limpopo. Northwest, it's a mining province like Limpopo. Northwest, it's a tourist destination like Limpopo. So we share a lot of things.
Yeah.
So for me, whether the stadium is full or not, which I can tell you the stadium is going to be full,
yeah.
From the experience as we were moving around. There is just some logistical challenges out there when people
Sure.
are coming in, but I can tell you the stadium will be full by the time the president will give his message.
Yeah.
But what is important is that the work that the NEC said they were doing, and also what we as provinces have learned from the NEC, it's quite giving us the satisfaction that indeed January 8 of 2026 was well celebrated.
I imagine, Dr. Ramathuba, that the January 8th statement becomes the culmination of your own thinking as the National Executive Committee, as well as the realities, the feedback you are getting from communities. So given that you've been in and around the Northwest for the past few days, interacting with communities, what are some of the issues that we can expect without, of course, preempting too much what will be in the statement?
No, I think the question of unemployment rate, which is very high, and it's not unique to one province, it's a national crisis wherein we have got our young people who are graduating and they are staying at home. It is quite very sad and painful, and we need to really find a way to deal with it. When I graduated, if you will remember, as a medical doctor, the provinces will even go to medical school to demand, to say, come back home and
Yeah.
serve your people.
Yeah.
But today we have got young doctors who are graduating but are staying on the street looking for jobs. So that is what we would expect as provinces, the message to be really focusing on that. Even if we are not preempting, we know that the issues of unemployment, the issues of services like the water, we want to appreciate that. If you remember the year when we were crying about load reduction,
Yes.
when we were crying, the president and the NEC responded. Even a ministry of electricity in the office of the president was established.
Yeah.
Today, load reduction, it's becoming it's history or a thing of the past. Currently,
Load shedding, you
Load
mean?
shedding. I
Yes.
mean, sorry, we are now. You see, I've even forgotten about load shedding because the focus now is on load reduction,
yeah.
which we are going to deal with. So, the manner which we dealt with the load shedding, I believe, is the manner which now water being a crisis is something that we have had, and you have had that even the deputy president has been assigned to support us as premiers, as executive mayors, to deal with the issues of water crisis in our provinces.
So part of what happens, Dr. Ramathuba, in these events is that it gives an opportunity for people to then hold you to account as the leadership of the ANC. You mentioned unemployment, and it came naturally when I asked you about the challenges. What I've seen in the last while is a number of NEC members being asked to respond about the comments that were attributed to, that were made by the national chairperson of the ANC, Natasha, a couple of days ago, about what he called a parcel society where people are sort of passive. System with that. Your own take on that. It has not landed well with many people.
No. What we are simply saying is that unemployment rate is a big challenge, and there are many factors that are involved in terms of why we are having unemployment. One of the reasons, if I'm to use the medical profession, is that when you grow up, you will find that there's only one doctor in the whole of the former Republic of Venda. But today, you no longer have Dr. Ramathuba alone. Every second household has a medical doctor. And why? It's because the very same ANC government, through its educational policy, it opens institutions of higher learning. You look at chartered accountants that we are having as blacks who are coming from villages. You look at actuarists, young black who are graduating. There are many engineers. So the question is, what have we done enough as government to make sure that our economy responds to those skills that we are developing so that they can be absorbed? So that's why I'm saying even the others, we established our TVET colleges, and unfortunately we have backtracked because TVET was supposed to be focusing on artisans. Now we are also doing office management. Then a young graduate of office management, even if they apply for a job, they might not get that job. Hence, you find that the unemployment rate is high. We're saying some of these areas where TVET must focus on artisans because the economy and the market require those artisans. So I would simply say that it's not one factor that is making unemployment. There are many others that we need to look into that.
Very quickly and lastly, I'm sure you are aware that your name keeps getting mentioned in the context of leadership and thinking about leadership with many months to go before the ANC's elective conference. When you hear your name being mentioned in that context of somewhere in the structure of leadership, what's your thoughts? What's your thinking?
No, I think, unfortunately, I don't even know where that rumor is coming from. I read an article from one newspaper which says my name for deputy president. I do not know where that rumor is coming from. But what I can tell you is...
Do you like the rumor or do you not like it?
What I can tell you is that 18 months ago, I was given an honor by the African National Congress to be the first woman to lead a province. I owe it to many women who came before me to make sure that the economy of Limpopo continue to improve, like we have seen in the past quarter when Stats SA said Limpopo has been able to improve its GDP. I still need to see water being delivered to our people. I still need healthcare to improve. I still need roads to be fixed before I can even think of moving outside Limpopo, traveling outside the borders of Bilabila and Tabazim. So allow me to focus on Limpopo and show that indeed you give a woman in the name of Charlotte Makleke, in the name of Mewini Mandikizela Mandela, that give women something to do they can. Allow me to fix Limpopo.
Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, thank you. And by the way, because of the blunder that I made with your name earlier on, you're the only person who's allowed to call me Mzwandi Lembeje and Tlantla Khatlana Samgele Masego, whichever name you can think of. Thank you for coming through. That's Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, the Premier of Limpopo.